Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach, Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, which the world calls God. And Yahweh Shai being the only name of his only God's Son, who the world enemy calls Jesus Christ. I want to give a strong shalom to all the mighty men that's going out there laboring, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, doing all they can to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? Enduring the elements, the 100-degree weathers, freezing below codes, and everything that's trying to hinder the work of the Most High. Shalom, shalom. I want to give another strong shalom to all the mighty Aqua, the sisters that are out there. They're reverencing their husbands. They're being teachers of good things, and unmarried sisters as well, being tender, delicate, and on fire for the Most High God. Shalom, shalom. Last but not least, I want to give another strong shalom to all the mighty teenagers and children in the truth, doing all they can to make their calling and election sure. All right, this brother Tazama.
All right, brother Shema, we're all.
Right, and the topic of this cold cut is Fema camps, persecution, Jacob's trouble is still coming, man. It's still finna happen. It's still gonna be on the rise. All right, through the Spirit, right? The Most High, during this morning, I received a vision through the Spirit. All praise to the Most High of the things that's to come. So don't think because the Passover just came. All right, you got prophecies over there in the Middle East growing up. All right, the things that's going around, you're getting distracted by that. Now you done forgot about persecution that's to come. You still have to go through that persecution.
Right.
That's not set to the side just because other things is happening. You still might have to die for the Lord. They still might grab you up. They come down and beat on you and knock on your door. All right, kick your door down. Your parents sell you out and say, yeah, he's in a room. My brother had a dream about that. That his mom came in and said, yeah, he's down there in the room. All right, they grabbed him up. They took him to a concentration camp, and it was what it was. So don't think for a minute, just because this thing is Syrian, that it's not gonna happen. Right? I'm gonna kick it off with this, the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. A lot of brothers, they forgot about that. All right. And the Most High, has to remind us, you still have tribulation. The judgment still must begin with us at first, the children of Israel. We still have to go through those set perils. And that's the only way we're going to get to the kingdom. That's the only way we're going to inherit that city that is mentioned in 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter. All right, it's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. And verse number 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, because everything is set for an appointed time. But man, if it's not working on man's timeline and what man thinks, guess what? These things is not going to happen. Man prolongs certain things. All right, when you read the book of 1 Samuel, you read about the 13th chapter. Saul thought Samuel wasn't coming at all. He said, why? Because he's not here on this set time. That means he was not coming at all. He just didn't come on the time that Saul thought he was. And he was ultimately got the kingdom ripped from him, all because his judgment was maybe 5 seconds late, 10 minutes late, 30 minutes late, an hour. So FEMA camps is set it for an appointed time. Persecution, the guillotines, all right? You're going to have military tanks walking down the street. You're going to have guys with their vest on, their helmet, bulletproof vest, AR-15s walking down with their walkie-talkies. Again, all of this is set for an appointed time.
God.
Right? It says, and not lie, though it tarry, because it is tarrying through the Spirit. We're going to be honest, we might have thought, okay, I thought this bin was going to happen. It's tarrying. But the Lord said, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It would not tarry. And these things are surely going to come, because, hey, these are the words of the Lord. Name something that the Lord has said to come to pass that hasn't. All right? You can't. Anything that the Lord has said, it will come to pass, and it shall surely come to pass. All right, let me get this in Ezekiel, chapter 12. All right? This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 12, and verse number 21. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel? Because this is a big proverb in the land of Israel right now, man. You got brothers getting comfortable. All right. Things around you might happen. I mean, things will happen. You might have another child. All right. You might have just got a house. You might got things established. Certain brothers, they just got custody of their children. All right. These things happen. Everything, your everyday life is still gonna play out around you. Might get a promotion at your job. Might get a new vehicle. But what? It says the days are prolonged and every vision faileth. Because that's what the Israelites like to say. The days are prolonged. Stuff is not, it's not happening the way I think it should happen. It's prolonged. Yeah, that's gonna be 2 years from now, 4 years from now. I got time to prepare. It says 23. This is what the Lord said. Tell them therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision. So the Lord is going to stop this proverb to cease. The Lord is going to stop this comfortability spirit to cease, man. The Lord is going to stop this procrastination spirit, all right, this lackadaisy spirit in Israel to cease via the prophecies and the judgment that's going to happen. So you don't want to get in your mind for one moment that these things are not to come. You still might have to die for the Lord, man. You still might get stabbed up. They gonna come. They know who you are, man. All right. Earlier this week, I was texting a brother, and as I was texting, you got the autocorrect thing, and I literally said Shalom, and it said for me. I didn't even have to type in all right. I didn't even have to say Shalom. I put the S in, and Shalom automatically came up. So they know what language that you're using. They know who you are. You have a number on your phone, right? MEI number. It's a tracking number in every phone. They see what you're watching. So don't think for a moment that they're not coming to get you, man. So let's go to the book of Hosea. And again, this whole cold cut was inspired, on a vision. All right. It's the book of Hosea. Let me go to Hosea 12 and 10. All right, it's the book of Hosea, chapter 12 and 10. I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions, and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. Now, we're not saying we're the prophets. Hey, we the elite. We can't even compare ourselves to the prophets.
Right.
Nevertheless, the Most High is multiplying visions in the last days. You might be just staring off into space. You get a vision of the second coming of Yahushua. You start meditating upon it. You acting like you actually in it. And the Lord could do these things, man. You get an end up vision, you on the run, it's in Jacob's trouble, it's you and your family. So the Most High, as we approach these last days, he's starting to amp up the visions. All right? And the vision this morning, right, was all hell breaking loose, man. It was hot outside. The sun was out at noonday, peak. All right? Everything was green. The people, they was coming in with the tanks. People was on the run, man. They had to get you had certain they had to try to get their stuff together, man. They didn't know what to do. Everybody was panicking. And yet, the vision through the Spirit, it was the servants of the Lord in there. We're not going to say them by name. Nevertheless, they was already prepared. They already knew what time it was. They was waiting for this moment, man. They was excited. So again, that just lets you know that these things is coming. You might have to suffer persecution. And you want to make sure you built for that. Because if you can't suffer and take persecution, I mean, you're going to be destroyed. If you still dealing, how you going to be able to deal with persecution? You don't even have your house in order. Your wife talking to you any type of way. You dealing in this, you got a lot of brothers, they prideful. You dealing in the spirit of pride, yet you saying, I'm going to die for the Lord still. All right? You moving in the spirit of covetousness. You can't control your sexual lust, but you always, I'm going to die for the Lord. Brother, that's backwards, man. You can't even control your own spirit. So you have to exhort the nation through the precepts, all right, to make sure they have everything lined up for when this day actually comes. Because again, like we just read, it is going to come, it's not going to tarry. All right, it's the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, and verse number 12. All right, it says, yea, and all that will live godly in Christ Yahushua shall suffer persecution. So if you live in godly, you're going to suffer persecution. If you keep If you fight in your flesh saying no to your flesh, you will suffer persecution. You not suffer persecution if you can't even control the demons that you're dealing with, man. All right, you still hasty. All right, you got a big pride demon on you. You slothful. All right, you don't have a lot of brothers. They don't even have manners, common courtesy. Just interrupting brothers all the time. All right, you got a mischievous spirit on you. You play all day. How you expect to die? You just play all day, man. It says all that will live godly. So if you really living godly, you really going hard, you putting your all into this truth, the Lord said you will suffer persecution. And when you suffer persecution, you have to take joy in it. Let me get that in Matthew, 5th chapter. All right. You got a lot of it. Don't be scared. All right, it's nothing to be scared of. The Lord said, hey, blessed when you suffer persecution. Didn't Yahushua suffer persecution? All right. Was he scared? Was he saying, I don't know about this. All right. Was he gonna a lot of brothers, you gonna chicken out, man.
See
all
that?
Right? And the Lord could put a spirit of fear on you. All right, like he did Peter, and have you to fold under pressure. You could freeze up. That's not just in the world. You could freeze up in this truth, man, on the spot. If your confidence level is not built up via faith and prayers. So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse number 11. It says, blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. It's like for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad. So you have to rejoice. All right? You have to know what time it is, man. It's fourth quarter, it's crunch time. All right? It's now or never. You would never get this, you would never get another opportunity to die for the Lord. You think Peter, when you read Matthew, the 26th chapter, you think Peter will ever get another opportunity like that again? To either confess that he knows the Lord or deny him? He can never get that opportunity back. You think Judas Iscariot, he can get that same moment back and get a rewind and a replay? No, the choice that he made, that's going to stick forever. So these decisions that you're making, every decision that you make is life or death. You can either get that, you can't get that back once it's gone. So the Lord said, be exceeding glad. Again, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. It says, for so persecuted they, the prophets was before you. Jeremiah got persecuted. All right, Isaiah. Yahushua, he was a prophet. That's Matthew chapter 21 and 11. You have Daniel, Ezekiel. These different men, Elijah. All right. John the Baptist, these different men got persecuted. Antipas. And they all passed the test. The Apostle Paul. All right, let me get Jeremiah chapter 38 and 6. All right, it's the book of Jeremiah chapter 38 and 6. It says, then took they Jeremiah and cast him into the dungeon of Micaiah, the son of Elimelech. It says that was in the court of the prison, and they let down Jeremiah with cords, and in the dungeon there was no water but mire, so Jeremiah sunk in the mire. What if they throw you in the, you think they're not gonna throw you in the dungeon, man? They gonna grab you up. All right, they're stronger than you, man. Even if they're not, the Most High gonna put the spirit on these nations to be stronger than you. You're gonna have certain jakes come up, get off me. No, brother, you gonna get jammed up.
Right.
You trying to fight back, brother? This is all prophecy. What are you trying to fight back for? They gonna grab you up. All right, they gonna throw you into the trunk. If you get hit on the head, it is what it is. All right, your head might hit the door. You might be bleeding. They gonna take you off. They gonna throw you into the dungeon. They gonna shut it with bars. The room might be all gray. All right, this the things they gonna do to you, man. So did they, the prophets that was before. Again, you have to make sure that you're ready with the apt mind to be able to go through these things with the right attitude. You got it.
Con.
All praise to the Most High, man. Right? You got a lot of brothers thinking about chariots all the damn time. They all, man, I can't wait to get out of here. Brother, you forget, you skipping the whole step. You thinking about chariots in the kingdom.
Right.
We do need to meditate on that we will die for this truth, man. It's bound to happen. You don't want to get, like the brother was going into, you don't want to get too comfortable. And you getting so comfortable, next thing you know, you delay if you saying the Lord delay if he's coming.
Right.
And now you get caught unaware, man. Right? Unaware. Now the Lord comes as a thief in the night. Let's bring that out in Luke. Right? Because we got to meditate on these things. We can't always just be meditating on the kingdom. We gonna play with snakes, we gonna be hugging lions, brother. We gonna be hugging damn bars when damn Esau coming out of crib, man.
Right.
And your mom's not gonna save you in those days.
Right.
Right? This the book of Luke, chapter 7. Sorry. This the book of Luke, chapter 12. It's the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 45. And if that servant say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming. Right? You don't want to say that within your heart. The Lord delayeth his coming. You're getting real comfortable. You always meditating on the feast days, right? Which is nothing wrong with that. But you obviously got to meditate on that we will die in this truth, man. Just what the brother brought out. I had a dream as well, right? Damn wolves outside of the house around my family. And the wolves broke through the door. Nobody want to listen. What are you going to do in them last days when a point that brother's not getting in order?
Right.
Your mama's not getting in order. Your grandmother's not getting in order. And next thing you know, they not listening and they bust through the door. And the wolf just start chewing up my mom. Chewing up my mom, my grandmother. That can happen. Are you prepared for those when you see that? Are you really prepared to see your mom getting persecuted? Or your mom giving you up?
Right.
Or your grandmother giving you up? Or your own brother with fringes giving you up? This is what we got to meditate on, right? Read on. But if that servant say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to meet the manservants and the maidens, and to eat and drink and to be drunken, right? The Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and at an hour when he is not aware. So you don't want to get comfortable and you're not aware. Because literally it says in let's get 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. He gonna come as a thief in the night. It don't say that just once either. Things get repeated in the Bible time after time. We don't know how many times. It could be 144 times. The Lord repeat things to us because he want us to meditate on these things, not just on chariots, man.
Right.
All you think about chariots and angels and all the women you can have in the kingdom. That's wicked, man. It's the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 2. It said, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. The Lord not gonna come as a thief in the night if you meditate on these things, right? Esau not gonna come at a thief in the night if you meditate on, damn, he can come at any time. You know what? Let me prepare myself. Like brother, steady meditating on, I want to get out. Hey, we almost out of here, brother. You forgot about Jacob's trouble.
Right.
You forgot about the persecution, man. Like I don't understand that. That grinds my gears. You know, I have to keep my mouth shut in wisdom. You know, I ain't trying to break a brother's heart, but you don't want to continue to meditate on chariots all the time, right? Especially the brothers that's coming in this thing. To be honest with you, automatically need to focus on persecution, man, and learning to purge yourself from the sins, because if you're still living ungodly, you're going to die with the heathen, right? Read on, the Lord of that servant will come in that day when he looketh not for him, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will come in asunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. Now you with the unbelievers, man. Because you said that the Lord delayed his coming through the Spirit because you want to be comfortable.
Right.
Right? You want to be comfortable with the chairs and the feast days, and you got a nice job, right? You don't want to meditate on those things all the time. Have a healthy diet. Your diet is always damn cupcakes and donuts, man. What about the bitter herbs, man? You need some of that to purge out all the toxins that you've been dealing with in this world, man. Because once you start delaying, it's delaying the Lord's coming. Because the Lord didn't delay his coming, you have. Now you got the portion of unbelievers, right? Now let me get Jeremiah chapter 45. Jeremiah chapter 45. Right? Because you don't want to, right, you getting all these blessings and everything, and you don't want to forget that the Lord is bringing destruction on this earth, man.
Right.
This place is not going to last long, right? This is book of Jeremiah chapter 45 and verse 5. And seekest thou great things for thyself? You seeking all great things for yourself, right? You want to get that nice job. You want to get that house. You want to get that rib. You want to get them shoes, them clothes, them cars. You want to get all these type of things. But what the Lord say? Seek them not. For behold, I will bring evil upon all flesh, saith the Lord. Right? The Lord is literally telling us, right? We didn't come in this thing not knowing this, right? So we ain't come in this thing not knowing this. What makes you think that you can forget about this, man?
Right.
We literally got to meditate on these things day and night. You don't think David was meditating on these things, right? Obviously, he meditated on things how to be better for the Lord. Also, that he can get persecuted, man. David was literally surrounded by his own brethren trying to persecute him. That can literally happen in Jacob's trouble. That can happen to the women as well. It ain't all about cooking and cleaning and listening to your husband, right? It's gonna be a time when it's gonna be a lot of thirsty Jakes trying to come after you, and Esau trying to come after you, thinking of wicked imaginations, right? Let me get that in Psalms. I'm gonna read this song. And seekest thou great things for thyself, seek them not. For behold, I will bring evil upon all flesh, saith the Lord. But thy life will I give unto thee for a prey in all places where thou goest. Hey, whatever you go, man, Esau is gonna be right there like Michael Myers, man. So we gotta be prepared. They know every step we take. Literally, man. They watch us our steps. Let's get that. Let's get Psalms chapter 10. Psalms chapter 10, man.
Figure it out.
Psalms chapter 10. They know where we at. They know we doing this video, man.
Right.
They know we doing this video. They know our whole full name. Right? They got other things to keep us on track. They already got Social Security, man. They so greedy to persecute the righteous, the Israelites, that they got other technologies to know where we at, man. All they need is really the Social Security to put up everything we at. But you know what? They got the location. Brothers think they doing something because their location is off. That doesn't matter, bro. They still know where you at, bro. This is the book of Psalms chapter 10, right? And verse 8. Right, it says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villagers. This Michael Myers, man. He sit in the lurking places. Where you go, he's there. That's what Esau and these other nations gonna do, man.
All right.
They're gonna catch you. You got a target on your back. When you come in this truth, you have a target on your back. The King of Kings, Lord of Lords had a target on his back before he was able to come out in the flesh, man. They knew what it was. They knew it was the last days. Right? Renowned in the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are prevailingly set against the poor. Right? Hey, in the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. He's gonna murder the innocent. Yahushua was innocent. If it happened to Yahushua, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, what makes you think it's not gonna happen to us, man? I mean, it's bound to happen. It could literally happen tomorrow, right? We see cows getting dying in the famine. These are the plagues that's literally happening in Egypt, man. It's happening again, right? Let's read that again. Verse 9. He lieth in wait, sickly as a lion in his den, right? Like Michael Myers, man. Where everywhere you go, he's watching. It ain't gonna be nowhere you can go. But if you meditate on the Lord and meditate on the precepts that you had in the time when you had your Bible, because you may not have your Bible in persecution, man. You're going to have to remember those precepts in your mind.
Right.
You're going to have faith in the Lord. It ain't always be jiu-jitsu that's going to save you out of situations. Yeah, you don't want to be ignorant in small matters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, learn how to fight. Learn how to survive. You know, learn how to do these things and protect yourself. But you don't want to always depend on the carnal things, because the only way who's going to save you is the hand of the Lord, man. His stretched out arm. So just because you know jiu-jitsu, that don't mean that, hey, he not gonna pin you down, man. They probably know some way more than us. They study us more than we study ourselves, man.
Right.
They study our heritage more than we study our heritage, and that's a cut for a lot of brothers. Because as an enemy, they watch us a lot. Are we watching? Are we meditating? Right? Renowned. It says he lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He crouches and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. See that? You're going to get beguiled in these last days. Hey, you're going to get finessed in these last days, man, if you're not meditating on the Lord, man. Let's get that in Psalms, right? We were surrounded, man. David was surrounded. There's going to be a time when you with your family and your kids, you know, brothers having a lot of kids. Brothers got to be aware, man. You want all these ribs and all these kids. You're going to have to protect them, man.
Right.
You're going to have to protect them, man. Let's get Psalms chapter, Psalms chapter 56. Right, Psalms chapter 56. Psalms chapter 56 and verse, I'm going to start at verse 10. Day and night they go about upon the walls thereof. Mischief also and sorrow are in the midst of it. Wickedness in the midst thereof. Deceit and gall depart not from our streets. For it was not an enemy that reproacheth me, then I could borne it. Neither was it he that hateth me, did not magnify himself against me. Then I would have hid myself from it. But it was thou a man, my equal, my God, and my acquaintance, right? And David was surrounded by his own people. So it's going to be a time where you're going to be surrounded by your own brethren as well, right? Dealing to the ways that they actually taking heed to the heathen because they gave up on the Lord, man. They said, hey, man, I can't do this no more. They eating good over there, right? So we got to meditate on these things and to make sure that hey, we not always thinking of glitz and glamour, because that's after persecution, right? But you got to
Right, Khan, that's right. So like the brothers going into, this thing is not a game, man. This is literally life or death. This is what we was born for. You have to make sure that you act with the right mindset. And we in the last days, there's no time to entertain no type of spirits. If it's a brother with a not a spirit on the same page as you, a sister, somebody in the world, you got to cut that off, man. Whether in the truth or out of the truth, we got one goal. And that's to endure all things for the elect's sake. That's to endure to the end. And if you're not on a path, or you stop me from enduring the end, you got to get cut off through the spirit. It is what it is. I'm not in this truth. We're not in this truth for man. We're not in this truth for women. We're in this truth for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. We're not in this truth for family, and there's none exceptions, right? So I would get this precept in the book of Sirach 19, all right? Because you have to make sure your attitude, you got to fix it. A lot of jakes, you got to fix your attitude, man. All right, your attitude is all jammed up. You don't have the attitude and a mindset to be on fire, to endure these things. You have to meditate upon these things. And when you meditate upon these things, it's going to change your whole demeanor. All right, it's the book of Sirach 19 and verse number 29. It says, a man may be known by his look. So a person could be known by their look. If somebody's always smiling and cheesing, you know he's in a spirit of mirth. If a brother is always grinning, all right, with seducing eyes, he's a lustful type of man. All right. If a brother is always slouching, all right, like a sloth, and down, sleepy, tired, yawning, you can tell that's a slothful spirit is on that man. All right. If a brother is big-headed, his chest is always up, neck poked out, you can tell that brother has an ego. So a man could be known by his look. You could look at a man and say, hey, when you read that in Luke, hey, Herod looked at John the Baptist and say, yeah, this is a righteous man. All right. Certain people, they could look at you and say, oh yeah, this brother, he in the spirit. All right. This brother, he got the mind. He look like he taking his truth serious. Your mom come in the room, oh yeah, he into that thing. So your attitude is everything. It's about your mentality. You have to make sure your attitude is fixed first. All right. Do you even want to endure the persecution? Do you want to go through those things? Do you count it all joy? Are you even prepared? Are you in the right spirit? If you're not, again, the spirit, the milk got to come first. You can't endure the persecution. You don't even have the milk down pat. You're still a hypocrite. Are you a thief? All right. You entertain the wicked, lustful thoughts. All right. stronger than that, have your attitude fixed, then we can say, okay, we can count this man to possibly be ready to endure all things. If not, then you got things stuffed backwards. So it starts with your attitude, your demeanor, how you approach this truth. Do you think these things gonna come to pass? Because somebody that think these things is not gonna come to pass, you're gonna see the spirit on them. They worried about other things, the NBA playoffs. All right. Oh yeah, I want to go to Miami. You got Eve, she want to go to Miami for spring. All right. And drink on martinis.
See that?
You got people that just want to Netflix and chill. All right. Just want to go out on dates. That's off. So it says, a man may be known by his look, and one that have understanding by his countenance when thou meetest him. All right, let me get this in a book. 1 John chapter 3. All right, it's the book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse number 13. It says, marvel not, my brethren, if the world hates you. And that's what's gonna happen. The world is gonna hate you. The police is gonna uprise on you. Your family is gonna turn on you. Yeah, your family's gonna sell you out. Like your brother, it could be brothers in the truth gonna sell you out. All right, the Lord put a spirit on them, and they cop you out. They start running their mouth. So guess what? The whole world is gonna hate you. Everybody. The East Indians is gonna hate you. Ishmael gonna hate you. The Edomites. A Japhet might get in this thing and start hating you, man. That's everybody. So you don't want to marvel when these things come to pass. Yeah, this is prophecy. I want to get this in the book of Revelation, chapter 12. All right, it's the book of Revelation, chapter 12, and verse number 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman. Who is the dragon? Chiefly in this context, when you read up verse 1 on down, it's talking about the Roman Empire. As you read on, you know that this dragon is going into the so-called white man, Esau. All right, which is chiefly, he is a dragon. He's that. A dragon is in a Latin is a large serpent, a large snake. He is the serpent. All right, the so-called, he is the serpent that you read about, that old serpent. All right, the same spirit that was in them is in Esau right now. So the dragon, it says, was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. Because that woman and the old seed is not here anymore. Generations went on. Times went on. More Israelites came about. And there's always going to be a remnant left. Who is that remnant of her seed? The brothers and sisters that's in this truth right now. That's keeping the commandments. You watching the videos. You're getting your spirit built up. All right, you keeping the feast days. You sisters, you putting on the dress. You being sober, sobriety. You men, you starting to act like real men of the Lord. Those are the remnant of her seed. It says, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Yahushua Mashiach. So if you keeping the commandments, the dragon is gonna make war with you. That's on a physical level. And that's on, we already going through the spiritual level right now. The dragon, Satan is making war with you through your flesh, tempting you, trying to get you to go off and sin against God. All right, causing you to be shameful in your iniquities, trying to drown you and bound you up in your sins. That's the spiritual aspect. If you can't get through the spiritual, you're not going to be able to get through the physical. All right, because when the time physically comes, you're going to have no temperance. You don't know the precepts, all right? You haven't fasted. You don't pray like that. So your faith is going to be diminished. And you're going to fail the test. You're going to deny the Lord. You're not going to strive for the truth until death. So these things is going to happen, but they're going to make war with the remnant that's keeping the commandments, tying you up by ropes. And they're going to be hanging Israelites, man. Hanging babies, throwing them headlong off a hill, like they did in the book of First Maccabees. All right, them stabbing you up, caving in your chest, cutting your head off. All right, cutting certain body parts off. God, they're gonna meditate terrors. Let me get this in John, the 16th chapter. All right, that emergency siren is gonna go off. right, the end of the world sirens is gonna go off, man. And you gonna know what times that you living in. You gonna know that, guess what? We spoke of these things before it came to pass. And the people of the world, they don't know what's going on. They not gonna make it. They gonna be out of, they don't have, not gonna have what, who is going on. They gonna be caught out there. You wanna make sure you're prepared and ready in that day. It's the book of John, chapter 16 and verse number 1. These things have I spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. You don't want to be offended at the thing. If you're going to be offended, you might as well click off this live. Man. If you're going to be offended, you might as well go back into the world. The things we about to tell you, if you get offended, maybe this not the place for you, right? It says, they shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service. So it's going to come to the time people that are going to be killing you, they're going to think that they doing the will of the Lord. Yeah, we killed those men. All right? They going to be saying all praises to the Most High. Yeah, we got those black Hebrew Israelites out of the way, man. How many of them are left? Hey, it's going to be it might be the time where it's going to be Israelites literally hiding in the caves. All right? Trying to keep the commandments. Trying to escape the persecution that's to come. Like you read about, let me get that in 1 Kings. All right? The Lord said there's nothing new underneath the sun. Right? Right, it's the book of 1 Kings. Right? Chapter, let's see what I want. 1 Kings chapter 18 and verse number 4. For it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord. And that Jezebel could be anybody. And they gonna start, a man's weakness is women. They gonna start sending out Eves to certain brothers. A lot of brothers, you're gonna get seduced, man. You're gonna get caught out there if you're not in the right spirit. Send an Eve out. She's gonna have a hair wrap on. She's gonna feed herself to be righteous. She may be comely to behold. All right, but whole time she's trying to set you up so she could kill you. All right, certain men is gonna be sent out undercover, and they're gonna be cutting off the men of the Lord. It says that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave and fed them with bread and water. And that might be you. You might be in a cave with another brother and his family from a whole different camp. That's why it's not about camps in this thing, man. Esau don't care about camps.
Right.
He don't care if you with IUIC. All right, we just gonna say it.
Right.
He don't care if you in GMS.
Right.
He don't care if you in ISUBK.
Right.
He don't care if you in Sakari.
Right.
He don't care if you in Watchmen for Israel.
Right.
He don't care if you in SOT.
Right.
He don't give a damn.
At all.
If you were an Israelite with you keeping the command, you professing yourself to be a Jew, it is what it is. You're gonna get cut off. All right. So you might be in your family might be in a cave with somebody from a whole different congregation. All right. And you have to know how to move in wisdom in that time. All right. God forbid, brothers start fighting in that day over congregations. Yeah, you're not in my congregation. You're not getting no bread or water. All right. That's off. But hey, that spirit might be on the earth. We in the last days. It's a lot of evil. That's wicked, man. Nevertheless, you might be in a cave somewhere. Certain brothers gonna be in dungeons, like Jeremiah. Other brothers, they might have a whole park, a warehouse, a FEMA camp just for you. You in there, nowhere to use the bathroom. All right, you dehydrated. What are you gonna do to survive? You're gonna need that confidence and that faith, all right, to sustain yourself. Let me read that again. It says, for it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord, that Obadiah took 100 prophets and hid them by 50 in a cave and fed them with bread and water. All right, let me get this in the book of Acts, chapter 23. So again, people gonna be trying to kill you. They gonna think they doing God's service, man. All right, as we approach the last days, it's gonna be harder to trust people You can't trust everybody. All right? Trust nobody but the Lord, man. That's the book of Acts, chapter 23, and verse number 12. All right, this is the book of Acts, chapter 23 and 12, and it reads, and when it was day, certain of the Jews band together and bound themselves under a curse, saying that they would neither eat nor drink till they had killed Paul. So certain men, they're going to be bounding themselves underneath a curse. They're going to be swearing by themselves, right? Yeah, the brother Sam, hey, we're not eating or drinking. We need this man alive. A lot of brothers, you don't even know your value in this truth, man. Once you're a target, you have to be of a high value, man. Somebody is of a low value. I mean, the target, people don't want that. Just like a car, man. If the car is low value, it got stains all on it. It's all beat up with dents. The mileage is high. You don't want that car, man. But if the car is nice mileage, looks nice, drives real, you're gonna get that vehicle because of the value. Certain brothers, your value is higher than you think. You're a man of discipline. So that sets you up. If you're a man of discipline, you already in the top 10% of men. The rest of the percent of men, the 90% of men is without discipline. All right? Not only that, you keeping the commandments, you're fasting, you're praying. You already in the top 3% of men. That's a high value man. You might not have the financial money. You might be broke. But yet you're still a target. Because you're casting down the wickedness of this world. You're doing something that's gonna change the world, man. You're trying to change this earth. They don't want to see that. The governments don't want to see that. They want darkness to prevail. You're going against the system. You telling brothers that they gotta stop being a whoremonger? Oh yeah, we gotta get you out of here. You telling sisters that they gotta stop smoking? Oh yeah, we gotta kill you, man. You telling people to stop being homosexuals? Oh yeah, you gotta go. You telling fathers, our Israelite men, to be a good father to their children? Now we need you out. You telling the women to be sober? Don't be a harlot? Those are all people that's targets. They're gonna buy them. They're gonna start cutting themselves. Hey, man, we don't buy themselves by a curse. They say, guess what? We're not eating, nobody eating or drinking, going home until we find this brother out. This brother Zechariah ben Yehoiada, until we get this man, nobody's eating or drinking. And you in that mindset, you gotta be like the Apostle Paul. Hey, what meaneth the weak? All right, I'm ready to die at Jerusalem for the name of the Lord. All right, let me get that. In Acts, chapter 21. All right, this is Acts chapter 21 and verse number 13. It reads, then Paul answered, what mean ye to weep and to break my heart? Because a lot of brothers, let they find out that people is really after the move for you, man. People is really searching for you. It's gonna change your mind. You're gonna be, a lot of brothers gonna be scared. All right, they gonna be sad. And we've been through these things. Brothers that witnessed the Ishmael persecution at first. All right, you're gonna be weeping. You're gonna be weeping, man. You're gonna be full of sorrow. You're gonna be in a different mode. A lot of brothers, they gonna chicken out. Like I said, crying, weeping. Hey, Paul said, hey, what mean ye to weep and to break my heart? All right, let me get this, before we go there, let me get this quick precept. And Sirach, chapter 41. A lot of you Jakes, you still scared to die, man. Certain Jakes, they scared to do push-ups. You tell a brother, hey, brother, hit 15 of them. Nah, I'm cool on that. You scared to go through some type of affliction. Why do you think they don't want to do that? Because it's hard, all right? It's not easy. You want to make sure that you're not scared to do hard things. You're not scared of a challenge. You got to step out of your comfort zone. All right? It's the book of Sirach, chapter 41 and verse 3. Fear not the sentence of death. Remember them that have been before thee, that come after. For this is the sentence of the Lord of all flesh. So the Lord said, don't be scared of death, man. Read Psalms chapter 116 and verse 15. I precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. You can't be scared of nothing. Only thing you should be scared of is the judgments of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. That's it. No animals, all right? No damn demons, death, spirits. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is the only person you should be scared of. That's
Right.
Isaiah chapter 8 and 13. Let the Lord be your fear and your dread. All right? This is the book going back to Acts chapter 21 and verse 13. Then Paul answered, what mean ye to weep and to break my heart? For I am ready not to be bound only, but also to die at Jerusalem for the name of the Lord. And when he would not be persuaded, we see saying, the will of the Lord will be done. All right? So these men, they tried to persuade Paul, you got to get out of the city. You got to go. These men, they trying to kill you. All right? They trying to persuade him to leave. When they saw that Paul wasn't persuaded, that he was unmovable, untouchable, because he was bound in the work of the Lord. He was on fire. They said, hey, man, all right, let the will of the Lord be done. You want to be like Paul, be not persuaded, neither by Satan. All right, because Satan's going to try to fill your heart at the last second. Look what he did with Yahushua. He tried to fill his heart when he was on the cross and say, yeah, you are the Son of God. You can just jump down right now. All right? Expect Satan to try to fill your heart. But guess what? You can't, you don't want to be, you want to be like Paul and not be persuaded. You want to be fully persuaded to stand 10 toes down and boldly for the name of the Lord. You want to be fully persuaded to trust in the name of the Most High. All right? To have your confidence up there so you could do what you got to do to cross that finish line. Again, that's what it's about. It's about finishing a course, crossing that finish line, getting that well done, good and faithful servant. If it's not that, and we don't want to talk about nothing else. If it's not getting the kingdom and hearing that well done, good and faithful servant, hey, I'm not trying to talk to you, man. That's all we meditating upon, because that's the goal. Whether that's 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 50 years from now. What if we die and we don't even see that? That's what we trying to look forward to. Everything else is irrelevant. All right? You got it.
Con. That's right, man.
Everything else is irrelevant. Now, Lord willing, this video, will have you meditate on these things, right? We don't want Israel lacking, man. We don't want to be caught lacking, right? Next thing you know, we get dragged up, and you like, man, I was trying to make this money, bro. All that stuff don't matter, right? Let me get Genesis chapter 18, verse 18. Because we got to make sure our house is in order, man. That's what Noah did. That's what Lot did.
Right.
They set their houses in order because they knew, hey, the judgment of the Lord is coming, man. They hold themselves diligently in the field of the Lord, right? This is the book of Genesis chapter 18 and verse 18.
Bring it out.
Right? It says, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. Right? Verse 19, for I know him that he will command his children and his household after him. Hey, you don't want the Lord to say he ain't gonna command his children and his household.
Right.
He ain't doing what he need to do. So as a man, as you're saying, our forefathers, they hold themselves diligent in the fear of the Lord and set their household in order. Because as a man, you need to be thinking on every aspect of life. Everything is always not just mirth, and drink, be merry, right? You literally got to think about, okay, what can this happen? You got to have plan B's and plan C's in this thing.
Right.
If the sun mark off, you'll be 10 steps ahead. Because Satan 10 steps ahead. Damn Esau, he a damn 1,000 steps ahead, man. He know where we at, right? Reading on, for I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he have spoken of him. And you know what the Lord's spoken of us, man? He's spoken of a great kingdom, immortal bodies, man, a incorruptible crown. So you want the Lord to be able to think that about yourself, that He brought you in. You don't want the Lord be have think of His mercy as vain, His
Right.
grace is vain towards you. You don't want that, man. No brother should want that, because He literally brought you in this thing. Obviously, He's seen something in you that you could be able to rule your household and control your household, set your household in order, just for things that will happen that we're bringing out through the Spirit, right? Let me get Sirach chapter 27, since I have brought that out. Sirach chapter 27. In verse 3. Because we got to hold ourselves diligently in the fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord is literally you thinking upon His judgments, right? If you thinking upon the judgments of the Lord, that's fear, right? Just as a child. If he don't do his homework, he knows what's going to happen. If he playing the game on a weekday, he knows what's going to happen, right? This is the book of Sirach chapter 27 and verse 3. It says, unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown, right? Your house gonna be soon be overthrown. There's even with brothers that's by themselves, right? Your house will be soon be overthrown if you're not holding yourself diligently in the fear of the Lord. Because, hey, man, literally all hell can break loose next month, right? The month after that. So we gotta make sure we staying focused. And as a man, you're thinking about every single thing what will happen, how you react in that situation, right? Don't be proud and think like you got it all together and you saying, the Lord got me in this proudful spirit. That's off.
Right.
Because next thing you know, you get caught unaware. And now you crying and your real thought that you was gonna protect her, but I mean, it's just all sad. It's said and done. It's all over with, right? Let me get First Kings. I'm gonna touch on that again. First Kings, because Elijah was by himself serving the Lord.
Right.
You're not always gonna be with somebody when that day comes. Right? Elijah was literally by himself being zealous of the Lord. David was in a cave, right? Zealous of the Lord. But his own people was trying to kill him, right? So let's bring that out. First Kings, I believe that's First Kings, right? First Kings chapter 18. Let's see. It should be 19. Right, it's First Kings 19. Right? First Kings 19 in verse 9.
Bring it out.
It says, and he came thither unto a cave and lodged there. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him. And he said unto him, what doest thou here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous for the Lord God of hosts. For the children of Israel have forsaken thy covenant, thrown down thine altars, and slain thy prophets with the sword. And I, even I only am left, right? And they seek my life to take it away. Hey, Elijah was by himself, man. It's gonna be a time when you by yourself, right? You have to, I forgot what that movie called. It's about Northern Kingdom. I always forget the movie.
Apocalypto.
Yes. Apocalypto, man, right? The man literally set his house in order. He said, hey, they coming through. He put her in a ditch.
Right.
Right? He put his family, his born son finna be born, put him in a ditch. And he said, hey, I'm gonna be back for you. And he say, Lord willing, but hey, that's the spirit that we have, you know, that faith, right? But he literally set his house in order, and look what happened, he came back. It may be that time when you like Elijah alone, you have to set your house in order, and they have to be in a spot where no man can see them. And Lord willing, the angels around them and blind the heathen, right? So that they don't find them.
Right.
So you may be in a cave by yourself, man, and you're gonna be like, man, they slain the prophets, right? My family's far off. I got them hid. I really don't know when I'm gonna see them, right? I'm the only one. You're not gonna always be with somebody, man. You have to think upon these things. I actually meditate on this before, right? Like one time I meditate, I'm like, man, you know, and the times when you know the brothers know that we was in New York, the things that we was going through, the way we was pilgrims on the earth, that's scrimmage, right? We was going through a scrimmage. All the things that we go through is a scrimmage, right? And the NFL, they do that. They go against other teams in a scrimmage, and then when that time comes, they know how to move. They know what's their schemes. They know their plays. They know what certain players move, how they cut, how they talk, what hand signals they do, so they can know the plays. That's what LeBron do. So the Lord is literally getting us a blueprint and knowing what's going on just so we can set our house in order and we won't be caught unaware. Right? Let's get that in Judges. Right? In Judges chapter 3. Because the Lord did that to Israel. Right? Because they didn't know how to go to war, man. And when we came in this thing, we did not know how to go to war, man. We didn't know a damn thing. Jake doesn't know anything. He don't know how he gonna go to war. He just pick up a Glock and think he all good, and he play Call of Duty. Right? He play Call of Duty. He say,
Right.
I got it all together, man. Right? I got my package. I'm cool. To brothers that play, that play them type of games. Right? This is the book of Judges, chapter 3. And let me get verse. That should be verse 1. So like, I'm Joshua. So like, it's the book of Judges, chapter 3, and verse 1. It says, now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan. Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know to teach them war at the least such as before knew nothing thereof. Right? So, the Lord literally set the other nations round about, not cast them off, so Israel can know how to go to war.
Right.
And the Lord, us dealing with these spirits, the lust demon, right, the prideful demon, right, all these other spirits, like the brother was saying, if you don't know how to battle those, how you if you're going to battle what's carnally going to happen to us? You're going to be caught unaware, man. One, it's not even going to happen to you because you're not even holding yourself diligently in the fear of the Lord on the spiritual aspect.
Right.
Right? You just getting cast off by demons. You ain't finna get cast off by Esau. You just gonna get caught in a nuclear fire, man. You just gonna make dying family, right? And we don't want none of that to happen to our brothers, right? So we gotta hold diligently, and sisters. So we gotta hold diligently in the fear of the Lord, man. Let me get that in let me get that Psalms again. Right? Get that in Psalms. As a matter of fact, Shalak, you're gonna go to 1 Kings again. Because this is a mighty book. So now when you read it, through the spirit, right? Because Ahab threatened Elijah, man. He threatened Elijah. 1 Kings chapter 18, right? Because you gonna have your own brother thinking you trouble to everybody. All hell breaking loose. You go, man, it's your fault.
Right.
They gonna be saying that. It's your fault, man. Why you do this?
Spirit on him.
Spirit, man. Then body slam you. Right? Man. That's man. This how the knowledge gonna increase in these last days. So is the wickedness, man. They're gonna be knowing all type of things to destroy you, and it's gonna hop on your brother as well. Right? This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 18, verse 17. And it came to pass when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, art thou he that troubleth Israel? Hey, they gonna say that to you, man.
Right.
They gonna come unto you bold, man. You the one that troubles Israel. What you say?
That lottery ticket spirit.
Yeah, man. That lottery ticket, man. You the one that troubles Israel. You got the lottery ticket. You got the golden ticket. Now everybody just got their eyes on you, man. Now you surrounded by a lot of Christians and Jehovah's Witnesses, right? Man, we was living good. We was doing this and that. Now everything just not knowing that the Lord wanted these to happen to you, wanted these things to happen, and He warned you. He wanted to warn you, and now you surprised, right? Read on, and He answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house, and that ye have forsaken the commandments of the Lord, and thou hast followed Baalim. So, you're gonna have to have discretion in these last days. You're gonna have discretion and know your behavior. Think about David. You might run into a whole group of nations, and you're gonna have to play slow. David had to play slow.
Right.
Right? Let's bring that out. David had to play slow through the spirit, man. Drill on his beard. You're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to do that, man. And no, that's not for brothers that's thinking crazy.
Right.
That doesn't mean that tuck your fringes. No, that doesn't mean that. Right? Let's go to I believe that's 1 Samuel 24.
21.
God, it is. 1 Samuel chapter 21. Right? Let's start at verse 10. And David arose and fled that day for fear of Saul and went to Achish, the king of Gath. So you're going to be fleeing from city to city, man. You're going to be doing a lot of running. So brothers, make sure, you supposed to be holding your, setting your house in order, making sure, you know what I'm saying, your body right, You don't want to be ignorant in no small and great matter. You know, because it's going to be a time, a condition matter.
Right.
It's like the tournament. I'm going to have to bring this out. The tournament, man. You know, brothers literally thought like, oh, we finna hoop. It's on condition, man. You're going to be running up and down the court all the time. It ain't about just buckets. Where's your conditioning at? Where's your IQ at? This is literally, if you use that through the spirit, where's your discretion? Where's your order in your household, right? So we're going to be fleeing from city to city, man. Verse 11, in the service of Achish said unto him, is not this David the king of the land? Did they not sing one to another of him in dances, saying, Saul hath slain his thousands and David his 10,000s? Hey, and when you flee to these other nations, you end up being in a dead end, surrounded by Ishmaelites, surrounded by wild men. You're gonna have to play slow. You're gonna have to play slow towards the beast. You might run into a pack of coyotes. Hey, these things are coming. You're gonna have to play slow, man. You're gonna have discretion. They're gonna say, hey, that's the one that was cutting up all the brothers, man. That's the one saying, if I don't repent, I might die. They gonna see these things. And due to all them thoughts, they gonna come at you. Right? So read on, it says, and David laid up these words in his heart and was so afraid of Achish, the king of Gath. Right? And he charged his behavior, he changed his behavior before them and feigned himself. And he changed his behavior, man. That's discretion, man. That's very wise for you to know how to move. Don't go in the midst of all these nations and you want to be, you're trying to live the life of Samson.
Right.
And you can kill everybody. That's not going to happen, man. You may have to move in discretion, you know what I'm saying, and faith for the Lord to make sure he gets you out those situations, right? Read on, he feigned himself, made in their hands, mad in their hands, and scribbled on the doors of the gate, and let his spittle fall down upon his beard. You don't want to read this and be like, hey man, David tripping, man. The brother was by himself, man. He was fleeing from his own brother. We may have to flee from our own brother.
Right.
Right? He was fleeing from his enemies, man. We gonna have to flee from ours. Right? So we gotta hold ourselves diligently and have discretion in these last days and really dig into these accounts to know through the spirit that these days are coming, because the Lord literally gave us a blueprint of what's gonna happen. Right? Because soon as when I came in this thing, literally like the first 2 months, the Lord sent me a vision automatically. All praise to the Most High. And I'm running for my life. Chariots flying. Bodies flying. Right? Bodies flying like GTA, man. Wasted. You know what I'm saying? And all praise to the Most High that he showed me that, because, hey, it's bound to happen, man. Days are coming. You don't want to be caught unaware. Right? But that's all I got.
I got this precept in the book of Ezekiel. Alright, so again, now is the time. You're not prepared. If you feel like your spirit is not right, you're not on this fire, it's a lot more work you got to put in. It's a lot more spiritual work you got to do. Hey, now is the time, man. Because like we read in Habakkuk, the first precept, chapter 2 and 4, chapter 2 and 3. Alright, though it tarry, wait for it. It's going to surely come to pass. So seeing these things is going to surely come to pass, you have to make sure that you're prepared and you armed with the same mindset as a Mashiach Malak Yahushua. All right, it's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 22 and verse number 14. All right, it's Ezekiel 22 and 14. Can thy heart endure, or can thy hands be strong in the days that I shall deal with thee? I, the Lord, have spoken it and will do it. So are you going to be able to endure? Are you going to be, is your hands going to be able to wax strong and increase throughout all of that? All right? Or are you going to wax weaker and weaker like the house of Saul? Be faint-hearted, feeble needs, when the Lord is going to deal with you. And the Lord is going to deal with everybody, man. The Lord is going to visit everybody in the night. The Lord is going to, everybody's going to be tried. The hour of temptation is to come. Let's get that in the book of Revelation. Which shall come upon the whole world and them that dwell in the earth. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse number 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience. Again, and your pastor, he's not reading these specific verses in the Bible. The only verses that he's reading is about you 10 years from now getting that $100,000 house that you always dreamed of and financial freedom. Your pastor is not bringing all of these precepts that we just brought out. That should tell you something. All right? It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. So the Most High has the ability to keep you from the hour of temptation. Does that mean that you're not going to have to go through it? No. That means he's going to reserve you to be able to pass the hour of temptation, man. He's not going to cause that hour of temptation to cause you to get you sifted out. He's not going to cause that hour of temptation to overtake you. You get tempted and deny the name of the Lord. He's going to keep you from that. Right? That shall come, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. It's going to try everybody that's upon this earth. People in the world, in the truth, out the truth, family, friends, foes, children. It's going to come upon the whole world. Everybody's going to get tried and tested. It's going to see who serves the Lord and who's not. Then it's going to be made manifest in the last days who are his chosen. Let me get that in 2nd Ezra chapter 16. Because right now, you don't know who's the chosen of the Lord. Or right now, you might have in your idea, in your head, oh yeah, this brother, he got to be chosen. Look how he's moving. Look who this man, this man, he got to be somebody back on the earth. You can't give that judgment because the last days haven't even approached it.
Right.
It's going to be made known who's really built for this and who's not going to be built for this. It's going to be made known who took this thing as a game and said that they was really in this thing and who really wasn't. All of that is going to be made manifest as the times go on. And that decision is the Lord. The Lord is going to make that manifest. It's the book of 2nd Ezra. All right, it's going to be made known who's built for this thing, man. Everybody's not built for everything. All right, certain people, they're not built for competitions. All right, bodybuilding competitions. Certain people, they just not built for that. Eating contest, certain things, basketball, tennis, soccer. Certain things, people is not built for everything. Everybody's not built for this truth. It's gonna be made manifest who is really in this thing, and who really wanted it, and who didn't really want it. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, and verse number 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none. Talking about Esau. But still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Verse 73. Then shall they be made known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Because when all of those things is happening, it's going to be made known who's going to get immune to that and increase. And who's going to go through that and decrease. It's going to be made known the chosen of the Lord. So Lord willing, this video is edifying. All right. Lord willing, you get your spirit right. You take this seriously. You start improving on the things you got to improve on. Because Satan knows he have a little but a short time. All right. Satan knows that he don't have a lot of time left before the destruction that comes. So he's going to be working overtime to get you out of the spirit. You have to make sure you're ready and prepared leading up to the second coming of a Mashiach Malak Yahushua. Right, so Lord willing, this video is edifying. Continue to read, pray, fast, study. Most importantly, beseech the Heavenly Father for his mercy. All right, Brother Tazama.
Brother Shema, we're all.
All right, with that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.